cyberpunk, The Witcher, good-looking women, Krzysztof Kieslowski, pierogi, John Paul II, Second World War, disco polo, and horrible winters. Let's talk about Poland. I lived in Poland for more than 3 years. I lived in Warsaw, Krakow and Wroclaw. I had the opportunity to get lost in Biedronka, to find desperately a żabka on a Sunday, especially on Easter, and to try to socialize with Polish people. I did my best and I failed. Poland is a very interesting country. It's surrounded by very important neighbors. Neighbors like Germany, the country of Rammstein, the country that did some mess the last century, and Russia, the country of polar bears and insert stupid stereotypes. Both of them, they tried to destroy, vilify, conquer, annihilate and annex Polish identity and its culture. This left a mark to Polish identity, its society and its people. Warsaw is the capital of Poland. It was annihilated by a guy from Austria by 90%. So the city is basically fake. Nowy Świat, Świętokrzyska, stop. A lot of shopping centers and Stalin gift, which is Palace Nauki Kultury. It is considered the Słoik capital of Poland. Słoiks are people from the countryside, Legionowo, Częstochowa or even Łódź, moving and chasing their capitalistic dreams. The bourgeois dream of the rat race. Marry the girlfriend from the high school, buy a flat, mortgage, corporate job, kids, sleep and repeat. During my experience in Warsaw, I realized how people were extremely self-centered. Everybody was in a rush. Like in Germany, people were planning in advance. Daniele, we can have a coffee on the next year. Daniele, we can meet on the next 3 weeks. Daniele, sorry, I'm busy. I'm extremely busy. Krakow. Coming from Warsaw, people from Krakow were extremely open and nice. It was a cultural shock. I felt I was in Cuba or almost Latin America. I tried to open a bank account and I was almost getting a Polish friend for the very first time in my life. Wroclaw, the small Krakow, or the Krakow that never make it. A city that is clearly much more provincial, less touristic, but also much more authentic. Wroclaw, for being that very small city, it is very vivid, very lively, and so many things going on. It has a very decent expat scenes, a good nightlife, so many concerts, and etc. Quality of life is very good. Because of history, Polish mentality is shaped by the wounds of the past. Complaining non-stop is part of the Polish culture. Imagine to have a very good quality of life. You have a job, you have a wife, you have kids, you are rich, yet you complain over and over. It's very typical, sadly, because of history and their wounds, to blame the others instead to look within. And sadly, this is part of Polish mentality. The wounds of the past also create an incredible and passive and huge complex of inferiority. This complex of inferiority also created what is considered in Europe nationalism and what is defined in Poland as patriotism. Poland drastically changed since 10 years. I remember being a traveler 10 years ago in Warsaw, and I realized back then how it was very easy to meet people. People were curious about the Western world. It was easy to make friends, date, have fun, and discover this interesting culture. After COVID and a huge influx of Ukrainian refugees, the country drastically changed. It's more expensive, much more globalized, and is slowly losing its identity. Nowadays, it's much more harder to befriend a Polish person, to make friends or even date. Many passport bros still think that Poland is a paradise, but they crash with the reality. For sure, Katarzyna, she's not dying to meet Ricardo from Portugal, even though there's still 5% of advantage by socializing and by being from Southern Europe. Polish women are extremely good looking, intelligent, smart and very ambitious. I met very nice people and I realized how many Polish women they were able to speak many languages, read, study and cultivate themselves. Many of Polish women also complain to me about Polish guys. I want to be extremely honest with you. To have a Polish bro, it was very, very difficult. Poland is not the best country to have a male bro, to go out, send a message, chill, and discover the country together. It's not Italy, it's not Portugal, and this is almost impossible. In my experience, Polish guys, they can be extremely jealous about the other guys. They can be very tough, yet they are humble, serious, hardworking, and if you break the ice, they can be people you can trust with. In my experience, it was way easier to socialize and befriend with Polish girls instead of Polish guys. What is very interesting about this country is that 90% of expats move and relocate just for the Polish girlfriend. At work, everybody was because of Katarzyna, Agnieszka, and they were visiting the countryside, riding and pimping with the tractor with angry Maciek, the grandfather, and lovely babcias. I find this a very interesting sociological aspect. Horrible winter are also part of life in Poland. Imagine from November until May, almost zero sun, or just the sun going down after 3 p.m. It's very easy in Polish life to go to the corporate job, wake up and go home at 5 with zero sun at all. This drastically impacts the mood, and that's why vitamin D, it's very important to survive there. Overall, quality of life in Poland, it is extremely high. The country benefits a lot of investments from European Union. Polish governments massively invest in metro, bus, and the country, it is extremely modern. The job market, it's very interesting. It's very easy to find a job, relocate and move there. However, the language, it is extremely difficult. And also, by speaking the language, you need to understand that it is absolutely different culture. Dzień dobry, jestem Daniel, kurwa, spierdalaj. Polish people are reserved, shy, hardworking, serious and humble, and they are not putting the red carpet for you. Maybe, if you are lucky, you can have a relationship with Katarzyna or Agnieszka from Częstochowa, or maybe you will end up lonely, facing the harsh and long Polish winters. I learned a lot about myself and my life in Poland. I spent 3 winters there, and something I also learned is that I don't have energies anymore to spend such long and depressing winters. Dziękuję bardzo, do widzenia.